Billsup at Billsup everywhere. BILLSUP. Check me out. This will probably be out at that point, but go check out that Good Business. Me and Pet Zebra. You got me and Slicky Williams on the drops coming. Yeah. These boys coming with more music. Just keep it out and then jump into the web because it goes deep. There's probably over 30 releases project wise amongst a lot of us. So go jump into all of it. You feel me?
I like it.
That's a fact, man. I'm Aaron Rennell again. You can follow me on Twitter, on IG, at Aaron Rennell. Also, go check our YouTube out at Major Coin Co. IG, Twitter at Major Coin Co. And the blog at MajorCoinCo.com. So yeah, fuck with us.
Yeah, and then I'm Kenny Bass, and my IG is Kenny MF Bass, and I'm on Twitter as Kenny MFN Bass, and yeah.
What if somebody trying to get a Major Coin
hoodie?
Yeah, merchandise. What's up? What they supposed to do?
Yeah, MajorCoinCo.com. And if your size is sold out right now, hit us in the DM or something. We'll put you on the spreadsheet, and you'll be the first to. You know what I mean? You'll be the first to know when we have them out. You'll have yours secured already if you put a deposit down.
And they, they put the DMs out there, and they put where y'all can hit them at.
Yes, sir. For sure. Tap in. Everything for sale.
Everything for sale. Beats, so you see it up there,
Most things.
If you hear it, you see it. It's up there.
It's all for sale.
Look, man, I'm selling logos.
He's selling logos. Yeah, listen, get out here with logos, man.
Real shit.
Yeah. And be on the lookout too. We starting a Major Coin crypto community soon. So be on the lookout for that. So I'm definitely I'm forever be grateful for that, because I feel like today I'm the artist I always knew I could be, but that was from pushing myself beyond those limits and having him right there lighting that fire. You know what I mean? Being no, you gotta come better than this shit, or this shit is wasting my time. That shit don't feel good. A motherfucker telling you, yo, this shit wasting my time.
And if you don't want to hear that,
nigga,
shit,
we grown as fuck,
nigga.
You feel me?
Facts.
Yeah, so it's is you going? It's
I just always try to get nigga in that mindset that when we get up there, that's what them A&Rs gonna say, man. Them niggas they don't give a fuck. It's 900, it's probably 4 more of us in the lobby for another meeting in 20 minutes. They gonna say that shit. This ain't it. Get out.
Oh yeah, and you can't even let that. You gotta move to the next one.
You can't even plead your case, nigga. You might sit down 30 seconds, nigga, play the record, get the fuck out.
Damn, that's one.
Bye.
That's it.
Oh man,
that's all we got for you.
That's it.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
It
really be like that, man.
Or
I ain't never had nothing like that happen to me, man.
Or the motherfucker look at you and just start to get to shredding your shit. And
yeah, you gotta take it, man.
You gotta be okay with it.
I was telling my homie that shit online. If you're just putting these little shits online, and motherfucker just get to comment, and people gonna talk shit, man.
Yeah.
About everything.
Yeah.
That's
bro,
what they
all
do.
engagement is good.
LeBron, the nicest nigga in the world, and I'm not even a fan, but I'm still talking, he getting talked about.
Yeah, I feel what you know.
Regardless. So motherfucker gonna talk about you.
But that's that debate. I don't know. I used to listen to Dan Le Batard a lot, and the podcast he used to do, and he called it the pitchfork mob. It's mob mentality in our society now, where one person's hey, we hate this guy, and everyone's yeah, we hate this guy, and
and it become popular to hate a motherfucker. And that shit is weird.
Whole time, I was having this fucking conversation with one of y'all. I'm yo, all right. So we was talking about on Babyface Ray new tape. He's got this song. I think it's Real Niggas Don't Rap. He said niggas ask me how I really feel about it. Shit is cool if I could make $1 million out of it. And I'm yo, it's crazy how a hood nigga could say something and Donald Trump could say something. And if the hood nigga say it, everybody feel it. But if Donald Trump say that shit, he's a fuck. Because, that's what he does, right? Trump, if he can make $1 million out of it, he gonna get that shit. Yeah. But if Ray say it, niggas yo, that's hard as fuck. That nigga, and whole time the culture of the hood is, I'm gonna step on your back to get mine. And I don't know when that changed. I really don't.
And we ain't never gonna win like that.
I'm gonna keep it a bean though, but you could that's a culture of the hood, but that's that
It's
hasn't
not the
always
only
been that
facet.
hasn't always been the culture of black family.
Yeah,
because
that's not
Yeah.
the culture of me for real.
You-
And I'm from the hood, motherfucker.
Oh, but you
Like,
just distinguish black family and hood. You feel what
But
I'm
this-
saying?
this what I'm
there's
saying.
a code of the streets and there's a code of like humanity. You feel what I'm saying? Like, and the
Yeah.
code of the street is money rules all. Like that's just capitalism
Yeah.
runs the fucking world. I don't care
Yeah.
who you are. Cause a
That's a
nigga will rob a
That's a fact.
nigga he getting money with if he got to. If I'm hungry enough and I'm down enough and I got something that got my back against the wall enough, me and you ain't that cool.
Yeah. Yeah. That's how it be,
Definitely
man.
seen, yeah.
That's why I said I could never get a nigga close to me, you know? Could never get a nigga close to me, man.
Shit, most niggas, I think they know, but we cousins. So a lot of this shit that I do, minus my niggas from Pittsburgh, like we keep this shit in the family.
It's in the family. It's, in,
Yeah,
the circle. It's in the
yeah.
circle for real.
Real, bro,
Facts.
we ain't playing that shit. Cause
Facts.
niggas really like, bro, we done had a situation where a nigga tried to finesse us out of like 5 bands to try to get like a label deal with Universal, become an imprint shit. Like that shit was crazy, you know. But niggas pulled together, got our resources. We had a couple entertainment
types of
lawyers,
shit.
couple.
I was
of
gonna say
my
how
niggas-
that
Yeah, like-
situation, like, you know.
Man,
So
nigga
I had-
was talking about he was gonna black.
So I
niggas
got a
and shit,
nigga-
like, fuck out of here.
I
That shit is
collaborate.
hilarious.
bro. Shit, bro.
that shit was
man.
hilarious.
We ain't. It was actually one of our collaborations was on my album. I ain't did shit with bro as of late. I got to tap back in, but Gene LaFleur, he's from Monster Beats, who did, I mean, a lot of currencies. You know, Spit in the Monster Beats, Radioactive. Like they made all them beats. They did Famous. They did like the whole Weekend at Bernie's tape. Like he did they just did the Last Memory for Takeoff that just went gold, I think. So a lot of that shit. But you know, me and bro. We got some beats and I got a placement with Currency. I'm just we just waiting. But that probably won't come out the way dude did. But you know, just to hear him on one of my beats one time, whether it came out or not, was dope because that's my favorite rapper.
Yeah.
So that shit was cool as fuck.
Yeah.
And like, you know, that quantum potential of me understanding. That was the first time I was like, okay, I can get this shit done. Like, so that shit happened and he had an opportunity for me. He was posting on his story. They were posting on his story about like, you know, Universal, da da da. And at the point, we had just busted off from my old business partner, and we was trying to find a way to get this shit going. And we like, yo, we need resources. So, you know, potentially this could be a good investment if it is what it is. So then we inquired about it, and you know, always do your homework. We had an entertainment lawyer look it over, and then I got a homie. His name's Swede. Shout out Swede. He helped me. I actually just got a placement with Gutta Gutta that just dropped. Me and him did the beat for that shit. That shit was on his last mixtape, Nina, that just came out. That shit was dope. But bro, he looked at the contract and he emailed me back and he was just like, nah, this shit's janky as fuck, bro.
Yeah.
Like
It was gonna be that bad deal that
one,
puts you in the
yeah,
game,
so-
but keep you there.
Yeah,
Like,
so he was like, bro, he said, this is jank. He said, and they ask you for bread? Yo, I don't know what Cameron. Do not. Do fucking
Anyone
not.
you want, Joe,
Do
bro.
fucking not.
Pay
go.
to get no deal. Well, that shit.
If niggas is coming to you for money to get a deal for it, do not fuck it. It's not real. It's a scam. You getting finessed. Say goodbye to the money. The back end's not gonna be there. Anyways. So basically, you know, that shit happened. And bro told me that shit was fucked up. He's like, this is fucked up. So I wound up like, Bo was texting us and he was on like, if you guys got the bread, we're ready to go. Like, you know what I mean? And you know, we from this, bro. We hustlers. Like, it's in our blood. LC, my uncle, nigga. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Y'all was ready to go.
Yeah, I'm like, hey man, like, da-da-da. We get to going back and forth. I tell this nigga, this is a scam. Nigga lost his mind. Don't you come into my business telling me what I got.
The
video.
voice messages.
I'm not gonna waste my
man.
time
That's
trying to
rough.
find a video, but we still got the voice. We still listen to that for
You
motivation.
can hear the loathing in this
Bro,
man
Bro,
voice.
this nigga was
he
mad.
was drunk. He
it
was,
was
off
like
of
he,
something though. He was on some drugs.
man,
or
it was like
drunk
he
or-
thought he had a lick, and that shit slipped through his
Real
fucking
shit.
fingers.
Real
like
shit. Because they were
he was
they
mad as
They were
fuck.
showing
nigga.
us this studio in like Trinidad and Tobago. Like
Yeah,
y'all have
like-
access to this to come down here, and like it was just all real. Like what the like. What
All
do
of
you-
it's just a
bro,
spin.
what the fuck do you?
It
Take,
was- it-
what do you take me for? Type.
It
shit.
was some
Like,
literally
Facts.
too good to be true type shit. Like, and
Yeah,
then
like, come on,
even if we was to have access to a studio in Trinidad and Tobago, who the hell just could pick up and go to Trinidad and Tobago
The
and
fuck?
just
Yeah,
all right, we about
guys
to be
wanna
in
go
the
to the stu
studio
for a week?
that we got access to but
who knows if they're having
probably
another
gonna have
session
to
that's
pay.
down there?
Who
knows how much time we're gonna be able to spend in there? Are they hour session increments? What are we comped? Like, you know what I'm just a lot
All
of
that matter.
a lot of up in the air shit, bro.
And that's why the last couple years we've been real like we've been getting our knowledge game on for real, like just.
Oh yeah, you got to.
Yeah, cause I think the nigga Corday, the rapper, he dated Naomi Osaka or whatever. He was just talking on the Earn Your Leisure shit about how motherfuckers get these deal opportunities and they take that deal, but they didn't get their knowledge on at all. So now they're like in the game and they're trapped there for real. Like
that nigga Blueface. Nigga signed to like 5 people, and you got to pay all them 10%. Oh, and then you got to pay what you got to pay to the label. Oh, and then you got to pay the marketing agent, and you got to.
Then when you can't pay it back, you stuck just making albums.
I mean, no, you just there's that, and you're not gonna pay it back. But Birdman's like, you know what, let's shot it. That's cool. Here go a Bentley. Like, you know what I mean? Like, and he's flexing. So the nigga got to do dumb shit like run this internet series of House of Blue, like Flavor of Love with Blueface or whatever he's doing, and that's to make a cash grab. But now you stuck in you're so far removed from the thing that you was supposed to do because you fucked up on the front end.
They'll take the fame first.
Yeah, for real. Rather than
Mm-hmm.
grinding that shit out how you should have.
Getting put out there, they'll take that little fame first.
Yeah.
Easy.
Yeah, you gotta get your business together. Like that's like
you gotta stick money over bitches for real. Motherfuckers want the fame. They want all the shit that fame bring them.
Niggas
for real.
be forgetting
the
that
bread is
money
what matters.
brings the bitches. Like,
Yeah, just get the money first,
man,
man.
I'm just saying,
money gonna get you all that shit.
I'm just
Every
saying, man.
money
Listen,
is
if you
power.
out
In this
here
world-
moving in this industry, like you should know that this shit is fucked up. Like real rap, like you
Bro,
have
hold on.
you
This
gotta
is-
have like some competence
I'ma-
about
I'ma
yourself.
give
You gotta
y'all-
like have your shit together, or you
I'ma
gonna
let-
get
I want you
killed
to
out
flex.
here.
I want you to flex right quick because this is how deep niggas get into this shit, right? Aaron, tell them about IRC codes and the government and DistroKid and how niggas.
I don't want to do all that.
Come
right
on,
now.
man.
But
No, about basically how niggas, if you upload your
But-
shit on DistroKid without your own IRC code, that ain't your music.
Yeah.
essentially.
It's the
I mean, like
government.
it's still yours. You got access to
Wow.
it or whatnot. But like, since it's not, since you don't own the coding on your music, like they basically got first right to veto anything. So if a deal come through or anything that arises from your stuff, they can, if they want to, be
People
like,
are
no,
contacting
if we
them
don't get,
about your music.
yeah.
And then the IRC code is basically like a thumbprint for your song. You know what I mean? Like a fingerprint. Everybody has a different fingerprint. That's what an IRC code is. So there's a certain set of them that they implement to you with like a prefix, I think. And that prefix is what dictates whether it's yours or somebody else's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can, and it's all like, once you start doing your research, you realize like it's so many different like entities and agencies and shit that you gotta be really like registered with to be able to collect on your royalties and shit. And
Hey, but you gonna spend $100 on the cameraman out that shit you recording in your bedroom and blow up.
Yeah.
Somebody
It's
else
just-
going to get the cheese.
Yeah.
Bro, like niggas, like you see,
you feel me?
After hearing that, you're like, wow, niggas is really delusional.
It's all types of streams of revenue and shit that's just accruing on the music and shit. Like, say your platform does enlarge and you know what I mean. You out here snapping and shit. You getting feature money, you getting show money. You feel me? You probably signed a deal, so like you feel like you eating, but it's a whole stream of revenue that you don't even know about, that you not even
Tapped into.
you know what I mean? And that's going to, it's damn near like fucking crypto and stocks at this point with streaming, because it's a fucking asset that's gonna keep accruing over time.
Yeah.
You feel me? So
And then like that, I feel like that gives the labels a easier way in to like really
that's
in
the
with you, because like
leverage.
we
Yeah.
could work with a label, and I wouldn't even mind working with a label, especially because our business is right. But if your business not right and the label coming to you and they tell you like, yo, your business not right, but we can handle all that for you. We just need this,
And let me
and
get
we gonna
some-
give you this. Niggas is
we
gonna be
talking
like,
about,
all right.
We talking about bad deals, and I want artists to also understand this. There's a difference between getting fucked and you know it.
Yeah, like scared to talk up, scared to
Like basically, if you're getting fucked and you know it, it's because there's something in that that's gonna lead to something on the back end that you understand as an artist. I'm not gonna be able to eat my whole piece of the pie off this first deal. I'm gonna have to use this to get the clout and then make my own money and still keep hustling. And this is where you see a lot of niggas who get that first advance money or they'll blow it or do some other wild shit. Like that's why niggas don't last in the game, because you went and bought $250 grand worth of jewelry. You rented all these crazy penthouses and shit. Now you getting show money every night too, but your price ain't enough to sustain that lifestyle. You know what I'm saying? So like it's a whole nother backside of that like niggas are trying to live a lifestyle, and that like just because that's how it's gotta look for Instagram. That when you're touring, if these dudes do start going touring and all this different shit, like it's a lot of just things that you have to understand that artists themselves don't even take care of when they're on, because that's what the deal is. That's what the label is. So
I definitely got a new appreciation for like labels. I ain't gonna front. Like after going and doing like the legwork and really realizing like how much things you have to take into account, it's a lot of stress to put on an artist. You know what I mean? An artist is somebody who's a creative. They want to be free. They want to be free to express, experience, feel for real. A lot of artists can't really manage that as in tandem with handling all of that business. Like that's a lot of shit to handle. So I can, you know what I mean? The labels, they definitely got their place. I ain't gonna front, cause like shit, a motherfucker taking that stress off your shoulders and shit can enable you to make your best music and shit. But you got to be able to know how to navigate that shit. You know what I mean? Like to me, I always envision like if we sign to somebody, it'd be more of a partnership than like a employee employer type of thing. You feel me? Because like that's just how we moving. Like I ain't.
The key is having leverage on the front end, and that's what a lot of niggas don't understand. The
leverage is your knowledge. It's all it all boiled down to IP
as well as
intellectual property,
as well as what your EPK. In tandem with your accomplishments, basically. How many plays do you have? What do your followers and your streams look like? Da 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 da. So there's a picture, because like this particular album we listening to right now, Blossom. This was the first one we did in New York out of the label. We tried to fucking just shop this shit to publicists, bro. Certain people don't care if you have the money to pay for the shit. If it ain't there, it's not there. I'm not fucking up my reputation to cover you because you got bread type shit.
What about the album of the year, John? Like, how did that
that one?
What you get? We gonna have to get you know what I'm saying? Album of the year. We know we could just sleep on it.
No, it's cool. Shit. Manifest was me, like, I don't know, basically just spending, like, the idea of it came when I spent a lot of time with myself and just started thinking about different shit. And I was just like, I want to put an album together like DJ Khaled. You know what I mean? So
and you just...
I got with all my homies, and like there's a track with my nigga Slick on there where I packed like my setup, and we're like in the attic of his aunt's crib, and I'm surrounded by like compressors in my computer, and you can't move, and the mic's like here, and we recorded that, made the beat, and the same day I set up track. That's track 7. Track 2 we set up in my homie Mars's living room, so we like moved the setup from a house to a house that day, and then the rest of it was just like them coming through. My homie Zebra sending me stuff from Pittsburgh.
Word. That's what's up, man.
Zakia was on there with the dude Jump. He's from Farrell. So yeah, it was all just like these sessions basically where I was just I was like, okay, all these sessions from now on that I have people through for our potential for my album. And then I just listened till I got like a collection of songs that I was like, okay, these are solid.
These are a vibe.
And then I picked them out and set up the order, and a bunch of other different like technical shit I'm not really gonna get into, but like tones and different things like that, because the whole thing is about like when I discovered like meditation and sound frequencies and how to manipulate a lot of that shit. So like in my music I started like tuning my shit to 432 instead of 440.
So that like took you just to a whole...
It opened up some shit. I haven't been doing it as much as lately because I've just been trying to shop so much shit to the industry, and sometimes it's a little weird for those dudes when they get it in the format, and some people are trying to do like auto-tune and they're like, why isn't this fitting? And then you have to have a whole exchange about 432, and then it's just too, like, for those dudes when you're trying to get a placement, it's just too much. You feel what I'm saying? Like,
so you gotta
they want to be able to
simplify
just throw the shit on and go type shit. Yeah. So it's just by virtue of what I'm doing right now that happened. But yeah, it was just that, and it came together. My homie Stu, shout out QB Stu, crypto Forex champion. He did the cover.
Oh, shit.
He did his thing with the graphic art, and it all just came. I just used everybody who I really fucked with for the project. It was just a lot of good energy and.
Damn, I forgot Stu did that shit.
Yeah.
I said I forgot Stu did that shit.
I forgot he did that shit too.
Vibes be a lot, man.
Yeah, it's all about it. It's all about it. That's why we got the lights in the stew. Niggas want that shit to look cool. Like, nah, man. Like, it's a point where we're making the shit, and like, you know, each chakra you have is associated with a different color. So I would pick the scale of whatever song we was doing, and then I had fucking, you know, hey Google, turn the lights purple. And it would turn the lights purple, and then we're doing that song in that tone with the light on, and like that's when we really started tapping into like other shit. Like for real, we started just going into other
crazy.
shit.
I just started getting it. Yeah, like you really tap into yourself like a whole nother realm.
And then once you learn that shit, you don't forget it. So it's just like you just keep building on it. So like it was between that, and then we were doing a lot of studying on like 80s pop and song structure, and like
that's dope.
Really busting down like this is a bridge, this is a chorus, and like if you go back and listen to Major Coin 1, that was a Star 67 as well, which was a project by him that's like, it's still timeless. Niggas gotta go check that shit out.
Man, we got this one track that we like, he was talking about the motherfucking pop structure and all that shit. It never came out. We gotta revisit. Oh, that joint, it's just real poppy and shit. Like, it's top 40 as fuck. Yeah. It's really crazy.
We were really just pushing the boundaries of trying to
doing
do
everything.
Industry shit, because we were like, this is where we're trying to shoot for. So we were just like,
can we do it? What does
it look like if we do it?
Yeah, we was experimenting for real.
Like, it look like if we
like down to like if you go on YouTube, we got these shits. They're called the Major Coin DVDs. You can go watch them. It's we call it our last dance footage, like Michael Jordan and them niggas. Like, because
we still
Kennedy has a fucking VHS, and we were just walking around with a fucking VHS tape.
Oh yeah, that's
and we captured. They're like
dope.
they're like 10 minutes long. There's 2 episodes that are out. You could go watch them on YouTube. They're fire, but. In the car ride, we were coming home from Blaze Pizza one time, and we're listening to Billy Joel, and like that was like, that's the type shit we used to like. Okay, I'm in the car, I'm driving, let's put this on. We fuck with this. What is like, and we're all just singing. But the real thing about it is like, subconsciously you're soaking shit up. So then when when we go to write that next record, I'm like da 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 da, and then somebody's like, you like this and that, but it was all shit that I learned that I like subconsciously just like fed into them, and then like. They were cognizant of it, but the way that I was doing it was in a way that it was like not really like noticeable. I was just trying to be a dick about it, really, and I was just like, just do this, and they were like,
I mean,
like da 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 da. And then,
to be honest though, like you gotta study the music.
You have to.
Like
not just rap.
Yeah, like even like I always been like a little rap nerd like that about that shit. Like back like in 4th grade, I had like a little notebook. Like all the rappers that I was listening to, and what the fuck they was doing.
He had the Madden ratings.
Real shit. I'm like, what the fuck they was doing in their rhymes? Like, is they using alliterate? Like, is this verse alliteration heavy or is it metaphor heavy? Like, I'm like studying that shit and just like growing up. So like, by the time we was getting into all of this shit, I'm like, all right, you know, like we could really study this shit. Like, I'm watching the documentaries. I'm watching all that shit, just getting that shit all in for real. Like, that's what you really, I feel like, to push yourself to the best.
So, like, Manifest, the album that's called Manifest, that was, like, a big culmination of, like, this whole just, like, process. It was, like, me, I guess, kind of coming to, like, find myself again through the music, through the process, and, like, my coup de grace, like, you know, Pink Floyd, Dark Side of the Moon. That's one of my favorite albums. So like, that was like
that's when you locked in
my version, I guess, if you will.
Yeah.
Like,
Facts.
Yeah. So it was that. Yeah.
So
man.
I mean, like, were you like? So how you feel like this experience like shaped you today?
Shit, man. Everything for real. Like everything. So I have a philosophy overall of life that everything is just a building block to the next step. So everything was important. learning how to really lock in with my physical equipment and being able to move it from location to location, dial it in and make sure it's right for the person who's using it. Recording in different environments and having to dampen sound, or like you got to put a blanket over this dude's head. So like I became a better engineer that way, you know, mixing, mastering, learning how to use different effects. Like that's when I really locked in as far as like why am I using a hall reverb as opposed to a chamber reverb? Why am I using a plate as opposed to something else? You know, slap delays, all that different kind of stuff. You feel what I'm saying? So like that project really put me in a realm of like taking engineering seriously, because I'd been making beats and you know what I'm saying, doing that stuff, but really like locking into structure and becoming like a better producer, not better beat maker. You know what I'm saying?
That's a difference.
Niggas can make beats, but producing, and they'll tell you that's like one of my biggest things when we're in the studio is like we all do it pretty much a lot on our tracks, because we, you know, it's just a collaborative effort. I'm building a beat, and as I'm building a beat, yo, how do y'all feel about this? They're like, you know, it's a real give and take with us when we're in the studio, but we've done it so many times, that's why it works. But that's really like, you know, we want to bridge here. Do we want to do the chorus? Let's do 8s on this. You know what I'm saying? Just different stuff like that. But it really just helped me lock in and like was like a graduation, I feel like.
Facts.
So that's like, if it shaping me was just like, it just made me better.
Sharpened you.
In general, like all around. Like the perfect balance of like out of music and in music. Because like, I couldn't make better music till I became a better human. Facts. Like, you know, goes into that shit we was talking about stress and all that different shit. But like, until you can really remove that block and become what I like to call the observer of your life, you know, you can't really see a lot of shit going on.
That's real.
Yeah. So
respect. I mean, like y'all probably had your own journeys going on too, but it make the people around you better too. You know.
Yeah.
Cross section, and sure. It's like a thing that sometimes you don't know what you're doing while you're doing it, but like, you know, down to like when they were talking about the boot camp type thing that we did, like I had a whiteboard in my basement at that point, and we just had all our plans sketched out, and up in the corner it was this thing, it was called the habit clock, and it said 1 through 21, and I would cross each day off that we were in the studio consecutively.
Thanks.
If a nigga missed a day, one of us, not like me and him couldn't be there. And if one of us missed, erase it. Go back to 1.
Yeah. Oh, yeah?
Yeah, we had to reset that joint a couple times.
That's what's up, dude. Damn.
Yeah, I'm about to do that again. Man. I got,
That's a good board to have, man.
Yeah.
Real shit.
I need to adopt that.
Thanks.
Yeah, no, man. Like, boys, like, it's a lot of shit, like, right, so the way I put myself off, I try to definitely be humble, but I definitely try to remember my positive ego in the sense of like making sure that I stay real with myself. You feel what I'm saying? But there's a lot of shit that we did that like, there's a reason why I popped my shit, basically. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of behind the scenes stuff that happens with a lot of things that people don't see that like
you have to make happen.
I don't want to say it was just me, because there was effort on the back end too that we had to get done. Like, boys had to execute. So like, but I give them credit for like, sometimes it was crazy and I'm just like, you gotta trust me, and they did. And then there's other times when they was like, you gotta trust us, and I was like, all right, let's see how this thing goes.
What's this hard to do? Listen, I'm hard, man.
You have no clue.
I always be wanting people to be like, man, trust me, I got this, man. I know what I'm. But for me to be like,
that should be a two-way street, though.
Yeah, I'm bad at that, man.
Or at least with like a motherfucker like me, that shit gotta be a two-way street. Cause like I'm a real independent person that I feel like I got my own vision for how I want things to go. You feel me? So I like that we can, cause we all got real strong personalities when we get in the mix with it, and I just like that we all able to add and build for real. Cause each time it's like a completely different like creation.
Boys
it just be vibe after vibe after vibe.
We make that shit look good. I ain't gonna hold you. We make that shit look good because boys be thinking this shit sunshine and rainbows over here all the time.
Really like That shit like
Boys done had it out.
That shit
like,
sharpen
had it
you.
out. Like,
bro, yeah, that shit do sharpen you. But like, that's what I'm saying. Like, it go back to like people not being able to take constructive criticism.
Nah,
Yeah, because
everybody
like
can't take it.
you gotta be able to have somebody to be able to sharpen your still. If you consider yourself still, you know what I mean. You need somebody else that's going just as hard as you or got the capacity to. You feel me? And boom, boom, boom. Y'all gotta keep going at it.
If
Keep
ain't
the grind,
nobody
keep the grind,
sharpening
keep the
you
grind.
around your circle, you not growing, you dulling yourself for real. They might be.
And it's
being
not
sharp,
cool
bro.
to have yes men around you. Like,
Yeah.
you gotta tell motherfuckers
part-
when you ain't feeling
the
some
part
shit and when
that
you
I'm-
ain't, you know what I mean? Like, when some shit don't resonate with you, motherfucker, you gotta stand on that. Like, you know?
Yeah.
Like, but you ain't gotta do it in no, like,
Disrespectful manner.
yeah, you know what I mean? Like, you just, cause it's a way to go about, you know?
Everything for
the
real.
thing I
Yeah.
give them credit for the most is like they never see these moments, and I guess this is the first time of me ever really admitting it, but it be them days when I'm by myself is when, like, so they'll initially probably bring something up to me about a mix back in the day or something, and I get real like, oh, what are you talking about? I know what I'm talking about. Like, like, you know what I'm saying? But then I would go back and listen to that shit by myself and be like, they were right. But I can't let them know they were right. So then I would do all this research and come back with this way better improved version of the mix. So much better that they would just forget what the problem was. And just be like, oh, this is hard. Not just be like, yeah. I know this is hard. Like,
Not wanting to be like,
forgive
I know,
me.
thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you for
forgive
real.
me. Yeah.
He come back, fix the problem. Plus,
Man, you just gotta, listen, you gotta know your personnel, man. You know what I mean? And everybody got their own gifts
Nah,
and
it's good to have
talents.
a
and-
circle like that.
Yeah.
Man. That's good. That's
But
why
also, there's a part of me that never really, like, I don't, none of us really consider ourselves the leader.
no, right, right.
We all
right.
kind of
We a
just
group of
walking,
leaders,
we
like-
just walking across a path with each other.
No, no.
Yeah.
Like there's a thing to be spoken for balance, and I feel like I always just because, you know, I was a middle linebacker, I'm more abrasive and shit like that, you know. So it was always my role to be the one who's like, you know, the muscle. I'm the bad cop basically.
Yeah,
I'm always
yeah.
like that's just, and I
Always.
embraced my role. Like that's just what it was. But it had to be that. Like it got, you know. Shit got dicey. Shit definitely got dicey a few times because I'm just so passionate about this shit though. And once I get going on a path and I'm passionate, it's you know what I'm saying?
So how long y'all all been like rocking? Like I know you said you probably been doing to produce like for like
this was
7 years
when I came in.
from the gate.
I broke my ankle playing semi-pro ball, and then I wound up like just making beats for a year on my couch, and then somebody we all mutually knew came over to my house one day because they were like starting to rap, and I was like, yo, I hit them up on social, I got beats, da 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 da, and they were like, yo, da da da, and then they called him, and then it was just like all of us jumped in. They were coming home from North Carolina, but then all of us kind of like jumped in together around
Just
like
made it happen.
yeah, there used to be like 7 or 8 of us.
Damn.
Yeah, bro.
niggas
Yeah,
still
man.
going though, and shout out. You know,
Oh no, them niggas is still going in their own. Yeah, respect to them. Doing
Sometimes
their
you,
own
yeah,
thing.
yeah, yeah,
But
yeah.
it's
yeah.
like when you look at what it used to be compared, and we still friends with, like, because there was dudes in the group that were more like, it was like an ASAP Mob type of deal. Like they might not have been doing like music, but they was doing something. Like everybody had their thing.
to do it, make
Yeah.
some coin
still
for
cool with a
real.
couple.
It was called NL it was called NL when we was doing that.
So when did Major Coin come about?
That was
Major Coin
yeah.
came about like
That would have been like
2017, 18,
we
something
did
like that.
we did that for 3 years, 2-3 years, and then I can't speak for when that all happened because I went and did my own thing for like a year and a half.
Yeah,
You know,
we used to do a clothing brand, you know, called Res 11 and shit, and now we do Major Coin because you know, just
Yeah,
you
my
know,
man,
shit
Ani.
kind of fell off and shit.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
that's
Purple
my
Apple,
man.
dude.
Yeah,
Ani
I-
solid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and see, we still cool with Ani and
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, that's my man.
Mad
Yeah, Ani
niggas.
solid, man.
So yeah, but
Basically, shit went south with Reds 11, and we ended up parting our ways.
Not even south. Look, when you're young and you're in your early 20s, you start to learn who you are and you gain more of your independence. So when you recognize you want your own independence, you make a decision to gain your own independence. That's what happened.
Yeah. And,
Boys wanted their own shit.
Ain't nothing wrong with
you're
that.
24, 25 years old. I like, you know, there's a time when you know, whether you have kids or whether you whatever at that point in life, which is what when I first left. See, I'm a couple years older than them, so when I left, that's what happened to me. I want to gain my independence, and that was something boys couldn't see at that point. But it's like it comes with growing, like it's just growth and age. You feel what I'm saying? So it wasn't like bad blood or nothing. You just wake up and you realize you want to run stuff the way you want to run it, and that's it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. You got different visions.
That's it.
Yeah, so when we went our separate ways, we ended up, me and Kennedy, this is my brother, we ended up making Major Coin. It was really his idea from the jump, for real. He had a separate design, and we got together with our homie over at Deuce 2 and revamped it and came up with the classic coin stack that we ended up rocking with. So since about 2017, we've been just doing our thing, building our brand from there, and it's been great, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
I don't got no complaints for real. Like,
yeah, honestly, right now we fulfilling a pre-order that we just had for Change the World tees. It was on pre-order for like 45. We got a couple more that's being made right now. They're gonna be 60 online. So
I'm about to hit y'all.
For sure.
and they gonna be available in exclusive wear as well.
Facts.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, over on 18th.
Yeah.
So I got it all, like sweatpants and
We
Nah,
coming
man,
with
we
the
coming with the sweats. We coming with the
We
sweats.
piece by piecing it out right now.
facts.
Yeah.
Listen,
There was a point where
So
boys
people
had
can
to
catch
figure,
the drops.
I get it.
Yeah, we
I
had to
get it.
figure out, because there's another level when you start doing that type stuff to where like you can order stuff a certain way, but then you can order like material and
The
different
right
stuff.
way. Yeah.
So like it's just a lot about learning, you know, the process to cut the cost. I mean, that's, you know,
You gotta
talk.
get your knowledge on
Yeah.
and get your
Yeah,
put
yeah,
that
yeah,
shit
yeah,
to work.
yeah.
You know?
I just had to learn that. Like going through somebody and then now like finding my own.
sourcing your own
It was
stuff.
like, yeah, it wasn't no problem. It was just,
yeah, you know, you
it's
just
always
move up your
business.
ladder.
Yeah,
it's
it
like
was
you a
business.
Pokemon, right? And you come up
Yeah.
and you evolve, and you know
Yeah, facts,
you
bro.
reach another level of you.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
fact.
it.
Word,
That's it.
word.
That's a fact.
Yeah, because I'm nice.
Yeah.
Hey,
know what I
no,
mean?
your shit, man.
Yeah, I
This
fuck
shit-
with your logo
It's
too.
nice,
shit
man.
nice.
A real
You know?
rap.
Yeah,
Yeah, so we gonna.
yeah, we'll build, bro.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, it's
yeah.
all
We'll be
love.
around. You know what I mean?
Facts.
We gonna do this again.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
appreciate y'all coming, man.
Yeah,
I appreciate
thanks,
you
bro.
having me.
Appreciate
Yeah, I
you,
appreciate
bro.
you
Yeah.
having me.
If you heat a fucking a metal ball, you have a metal ball and you just spin that motherfucker. Initially when that motherfucker spinning, you gonna see it spin. After it catch a certain amount of velocity,
Yep.
it's gonna look like it stopped spinning. You feel me? So it's just gonna look like a still image. The whole time it's still spinning. It's accruing kinetic energy. You feel me? People was like that. Your journey, your path is like that. Like on some real shit. It's gonna look a certain way from the outside in, but as long as you taking them steps forward to really make that shit happen, and to really like manifest that version of yourself and that version of reality that you know that you destined to fucking to live, it's like you gonna keep adding that compound energy to it until it reach that critical point where the metal ball will start melting. And then at that point, it's apparent to everybody, you know, to the outside, to your eye. Oh shit, something is happening to this motherfucker. It looked like out of nowhere, boom, the shit start melting. That's that point where your shit actually, you know, your shit start coming into fruition. And so like, how I started getting my shit together was like me actively seeking that shit out, seeking that knowledge out, seeking that wisdom out. You know what I mean? 'Cause Google is your friend. YouTube your friend. You know what?
There's a piece to that that's scientific almost those as well that I want to point out. When you start looking for things, right? There's an experiment where they focused on matter or energy. It was like particle waves or something. And when they turned their back, the energy became formless. When they focused on it, it turned into whatever they wanted it to look. You know, I forget exactly what experiment it is. You can look it up. But what he's talking about is as long as you're actively putting in the work, the universe is that's manifestation is what everybody hears it called. You know, the law of attraction. But the attraction isn't actually the thing. the thing is what you attract. And so many people go towards the thing that they don't put in the legwork to have that thing come to them, right? That's the cycle. You have to complete the cycle for it to go. So with him going to seek the information, it finds you. Because the same shit happened to me with engineering.
It's like you pulling it's like you got like an invisible like lasso on some shit, and you throw it out there into the universe, you feel me, and you just slowly pulling that shit towards you, you know what I mean? And that's literally how my experience was with it.
Talk to me, bro.
So in ancient culture, there's a lot of writings and different things that says that your heart is your brain, and your brain is just a thing that helps your body do the rest of whatever, right? So that's why when they say listen to your heart, trust your heart, all that kind of stuff, right? So there's a thing you have to develop, which is called heart-brain coherence. Heart-brain coherence is like, you know, when people are like, if you listen to your head, you'll live. If you listen to your heart, you'll get killed. And they're talking about like relationships and all that like weird shit. It's all backwards because they don't want you to like get the real information, right? Your heart's going to give you the real information. So there's these things called sensory neurites that are around your heart, which are the same things that are in your brain, so it can learn, right? So basically, from my understanding of what I've read into, there's a 5% of all matter in the world is solid, so, or in the universe. So planets, asteroids, this cup, us, the whole thing, 5%. So the other percentage is the ether is what they call it. You know, the ether, the matrix, divine kinetic energy, but really what it is it's frequencies and vibrations and waves that are just vibrating at different frequencies. So some you can see, some you can't, which ties into back what he was saying, that ball gets so hot that, you know what I mean, eventually it goes away. So through those waves, information travels. Ideas about album covers, anything, thoughts, ideas, your words, it all travels through that. So if you can develop heart-brain coherence, you can begin to open up the brain, heart-brain, to attract whatever the desire of whatever is in your heart is, right? So taking him, for instance, and learning the knowledge. The desire or the affirmation, if you will, is I know this information. I need to know this information. That was the request. So, right, everything as above, so below. Everything that goes up has to come down. So you need to make sure that your heart and brain are aligned so that what you send up is what you get back and not someone else. Right? And that's when they talk about blocking your blessings or your karma, all that kind of stuff, right? So his desire was to learn the information. You send that up to the universe. The universe then goes and pulls all the stuff that you need to start the dominoes to begin to fall for you. And then it sends it back in here. You get it. So then you read that first article about whatever it is, right? SEOs or something like that when you're learning about your business. And then that brings up another term, which you have to go study, which brings up another term, which brings up a term. But you see how, like, universe will give you what you need, but you still got to go put in the work and walk to go find it. You know what I mean? It'll give it to you, but you got to listen. And that's where you gotta be open. You gotta be open to receive
brain
shit
coherence.
like that.
Yeah, which is what he's talking about.
Absolutely.
Yeah, in layman's terms.
Yeah, being open.
Layman's terms.
Yeah.
It's just if y'all just to make a little bit of like cohesion, like you gotta be open to. Not just open to the world, you know what I mean? Like you definitely gotta move with some like some know-how about you, but you gotta be open. You gotta be moving with an open mind state, like as in open to receive the insight that you can gain from simple shit. Like you can, we on the phones all day, right? You could be on Facebook being a consumer, or you could be on Facebook being a producer. Thanks. You know what I mean? You can be on any of these like social media sites being a consumer or being a producer. It's all about where your mind is geared towards. So if you're placing yourself in a state of like wanting to find wisdom, we have so many tools at our fingertips. You know what I mean? Remember when I talked about that electromagnetic field, right? This is why people are like, why whatever I talk about winds up on my phone.
That shit is designed.
You're talking about some next level shit that people aren't even ready.
Talking about algorithms, but you're talking about that process
crazy,
that's natural to a human being that we don't really rely on in today's day and age because of
in technology.
That's what I'm
saying.
saying.
All that shit is replicated. So.
Because everything is everything, right? So
it's all generated, if you study, man, you look it up, it's gonna be in your Facebook now. You know?
Yeah, there's shit like that, right?
It's that algorithm.
So there's this,
just like you could talk a motherfucker up, like you could be like, yo, you talk about one of your homeboys, your homegirls, and they end up calling you, and you like, yeah, we just talked you up. You know, your phone ain't called them, but it's that same exact shit. You get to search or some shit, they gonna start throwing it at you. Like, bro, how to get paid off of music.
Bro, you fucking, you search that girl on Facebook because your homie was talking about her, and then you're sitting on 38th in Washington by Country Fair, and what the heck? That was, bro, everything you put out comes back to you, right? So people got to understand that. So remember what you're putting out, and there's different levels to it too, right? So like, I don't know, man. It gets deep. Like, it goes all the way down to, like, really what it's all based off of is intention, right? So, I don't even know where to, like, intention. So, like, if I'm trying to get to the top and I'm provided opportunities and my intention is to help people, right? Typically, things are going to come to me. I'm going to be able to attract those things. I'm going to be able to wield my environment, basically, because my intention is to give, it's not to receive, right? So greedy folks are gonna get there because they're greedy. They're gonna lie, they're gonna cheat, they're gonna steal. This is the world. Biology still works in the earth as well as the spiritual stuff. It's balanced, right? So you know, that by function of how you can do things in the world, if you have money, you can make more money. So that person's gonna make more money. You basically just have to I don't even know. It just gets super deep, man. You know what I mean? Like, there's compounding energies on stuff because what's the intention? Okay, so if the intention of something is malicious to do something good, but then on the back end it just hurts people. Like, it's all about, and that's where it being conscious and being my gift. How we talk about, I can, like, that's why I look at things as such a long, because there's a lot of things that affect everyone around us that when we make decisions on a daily basis. And it's based off of, like, he's my homie, he's my cousin, he's my friend. You know, there's a lot of ties between us. So whatever's in our hive mind, if I'm negative, he can feel that. He can feel that. And then it just kills, you know what I mean?
Kills
everything.
Across the board.
So, like, the basis, I guess, of everything is, like, you gotta make sure that you're, like, cool first off, which is, like, healing basically is what I'm talking about. Like, you gotta let go of a lot of shit that doesn't matter because, you know, the fill an empty cup thing, right? Or fill a full cup. You can't pour water into something that's, like, you feel me? So, you know, heal that shit up and then you can hear shit. It'll show you.
Basically, like, that's I just want to echo that, like, right there, because while you was talking, that's really what I was thinking. I'm sitting there like, well, what would be the easiest way to tell somebody who might be, like, having their feet a little bit wet, like, how do I get my business together? And it's really, the most helpful answer is really going to be, you got to do your due diligence, like, and you got to seek that information out. Like, and literally, like I said, we got tools for that, but it start with your mind state. Like, you got to be able to.
You got to taking responsibility for your shit.
Yeah, like, you can't. Like, if you somebody that's just like you, like, running through life, just doing whatever, or, you know, being whoever or whatever. You know what I mean? Like, that shit.
Back for real, like,
yeah, like, you gotta
get back average ass results, man.
Yeah, like, you gotta put yourself in an elevated state to be able to, like, start. Yeah, you know what I mean? Because your brain is an antenna, is what, like, what he's saying, as above, so below. Your brain is like the antenna. Your heart send out the signal. Yep. So your heart send the signal out there, electromagnetically, wavelengthly. You know what I mean? And your brain catch the feedback. You feel me? So it's like if you filling your loops with, like, negative shit for real and bullshit, then
So
like that's all you gonna be able to manifest. You're only gonna get to a certain place in your research. You know what I mean? That's a place of blockage to where you gotta elevate beyond that, cause like if you it's a parallel. You know what I mean? It's not just you reaching this block in this research. It's the insight to know that like, okay, this is a marker of something a little bit deeper, because this shouldn't be this. I know the information is out there. You know what I mean? So how do I find it? What do I, like?
So you gotta look.
Book that I would recommend to people. The book that actually put me on. I feel like my more focused path of trying to grow is you already know the power of the subconscious mind. Like that book, bro. The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Dr. Joseph Murphy. Listen. It's written in real regular ass terms and shit, like, you know what I mean? And fucking like for me, my people, shit, they had me in church growing up, like as a young boy. You feel me? That's how I came up in church. You feel me? So
that's a good book for people who like subconscious, like that's a good book to start with. If you want,
that's what I'm saying.
I'm saying like if you want to get deeper, piggybacking off what you're saying, I would recommend you go read the Kabbalion, which is written by the initiates, which explains the 7 laws of the universe. If you learn about the 7 laws of the universe, you'll change your life. I promise you.
I agree.
Everything operates under the 7 rules of the universe. All is mind. We're all right. God runs everything, right? Duality. Everything has 2 sides. Things are just paradoxes, unreconciled. It gets deeper, but that's like, you know what I mean?
I agree, but that's it's like you can start there, but few people are gonna start with material like that and be able to make sense of it. It's just gonna be like
just this
bullshit out my face, like
another thing that they read until it start presenting itself.
If you're an intelligent person, you can pick that shit up, and like the concepts in themselves are so intriguing that it's gonna keep you. You know what I'm saying?
Like, but even you can even be intelligent though and come across that shit and you not be in the place to where you just gonna receive it like anything else.
I feel like the power of your subconscious mind is still pretty advanced, but it's an easy read to the point like anybody could read it, but
it's something that just makes you think different. That's all, and that's all you're really looking for. Make you think outside what you normally think.
It's a book that start giving you back some of your power. You know what I mean? That we unconsciously or subconsciously give away moment to moment. You feel me? So like, it's about realizing who you are in relation to not like other people, but who you are in relation to the universe. You know what it means to be a person, what it means to be a human being. Like if we busting it down, like just our body and shit, but like we all done had like loved ones die. We seen them in the casket. They there, but they not there.
It teaches
so
you how to
we know that
this
ain't you. You know or not you in totality. You know what I mean? Well, shit, they call it your body. So what is it? What is the entity that's claiming ownership over this that we traveling in? You feel me? So it lets you know that we are not this in totality, but a lot of people. Your circumstances are how you out here identifying with this and everything that's associated with this, and you get lost in the fucking shit.
Get lost in the flesh.
Yeah, like
even for people like not even rappers, like
anybody. The girl who's on Instagram showing her ass.
And the way movies think like you're supposed to feel.
They're rich.
I was just talking to somebody about this, how motherfuckers get so caught up in material of what the fuck they think is gonna happen, so their life become a drama loop because they striving for something that's one, not meant for them, but two, is a fairy tale that was sold to you in a romantic comedy. So now that you got a baby dad and he got a wife or some shit,
because you were in high school and you thought it was going to be the fucking Notebook.
A large family across fans.
So now the dude gets you pregnant at 19 because you thought this was the Notebook, right? So then after that, you find out 3 years later when you're 23, you're different, he's different. You guys fucking hate each other. Now this kid, during its formative years, which is from 3 to 6, where your like psyche's like stamped, kind of.
And if you don't work that shit out, it's gonna be drama. Just,
And now the little nigga's setting his desk on fire, and no one knows why.
And then he got, and then he grow up with all y'all drama and then all his drama.
And then who does he turn to raise him? His niggas, his OGs. Because my parents clearly are inept and they don't fuck with me. Because I lashed out because I didn't get attention. Now they kicking me out the house because I lashed out because they didn't give me attention. So now I'm going to go learn somewhere else. Now I'm boosting. I'm robbing niggas. I'm doing what I got to do to live because you don't fuck with me. You my source of love. I don't even right? So then you see how many times that's repeated, right? And then you find out what water is all about. And then it's just like you can see why stuff is fucked up. Like, the water is a big component of it. Water's a huge component of it.
Picture me rolling, I let her on like a semicolon. She hate that I'm on one, but really it's just too many folded. I done got too used to this life I've been living. Quite the tradition. Stalking streets on nights I was missing. High on the mission, I was trying to keep lights in the kitchen. Why is you tripping? Cause it's big dick piping you senseless. I can't do the rigid interaction, that type is ridiculous. No, I ain't trying commitment. Most of you trying my senses. I'm just trying to get money and chill and fly in the distance. I don't really care how you feel, I'm minding my business. Halfway in and out the field like riding them benches. I know God got me cause it's real, my timing is different. Yeah, I've been climbing, I'm the GOAT inside of my engine. I had to fire some friends, they was just hiding their envy. Man, with this pen, I've been authoring all of you millions. I don't even know why these folks still bothering with them. I got quotes that'll make them choke like swallowing semen. I got hope you and yours will grow from all of the tension. Put them in their place like, hey y'all, let's call it detention. Yeah, fuck it. I fucked it up.
You alright. You alright.
Oh, fuck.
All right, good shit, fam.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Hell yeah.